We often treat spiritual progress like a physical climb, assuming that the harder we push, the closer we get to peace. We commit to rigid schedules and exhausting routines, straining against a slope of our own making. Traditional asceticism relies on this intense, unyielding discipline of sadhana. But even after years of weathered isolation, true stillness remains elusive. Pujya Premanand Maharaj identifies a systemic failure in this approach. The very effort we use to attain spirituality often acts as the primary barrier to experiencing it. When we force ourselves through extreme austerities, we build a wall of achievements, taking pride in our spiritual resume. This physical struggle tethers us firmly to the material world, reinforcing the false ego rather than dissolving it. In this way, rigorous spiritual practice can become a sophisticated trap, building a cage of personal pride where there should be a bridge to liberation. If willpower only strengthens the ego's grip, how do we actually move beyond it? In Vrindavan, Pujya Premananda Ji Maharaj is sharing an alternative. He is bringing a once guarded spiritual path to anyone willing to listen. His approach bypasses the ego entirely by shifting the focus from individual effort to the experience of pure divine love, or prem. This is Sachari Bhav, moving away from spiritual conquest toward unconditional surrender. Instead of breaking through a barrier, the seeker flows over it by yielding. Surrender removes the weight of internal friction. It is the difference between fighting the current and becoming the river. Progress here isn't measured by what you have endured, but by how much of your personal burden you have been willing to let go. For someone living in a modern, high-pressure environment, how do you actually practice this kind of surrender? Maharaj Ji's most practical instruction is to take shelter in the dust of Vrindavan Dham. From the outside, this looks like a simple geographic location or a traditional religious destination. But Vrindavan is Chinmay, an eternal state of consciousness. It is a living, metaphysical reality where divine connection is always present and accessible. Because this is a state of mind rather than just a place on a map, seekers can align themselves with this energy from wherever they are in the world. Millions are now doing exactly that, using Maharaj Ji's digital satsangs and daily routines to maintain a spiritual anchor while living their modern lives. Sanctuary exists as an eternal state of mind, accessible to anyone who consciously aligns with its frequency. Tapping into this consciousness involves realigning how we perceive the world and our place within it. The first shift is Vasudeva Sarvam, recognizing a shared divine presence in every person and situation you encounter, no matter how difficult. The second involves letting go of the need for control. It is a deliberate choice to stop trying to manipulate every outcome of our lives and trust in a larger process. Finally, there is unflinching faith. This is the belief that divine mercy is always active, even when we don't feel we have earned it through our own efforts. These men aren't relying on the strength of their own willpower. They are resting in the mercy of the divine. This replaces the strain of the ego with the humility of a child. These shifts dismantle the ego by replacing personal combat with observation, trust, and a quiet sense of belonging. As the architecture of surrender takes hold, the frantic noise of personal desire begins to quiet. Only in this stillness can we recognize Swarup, our true identity, which has always existed beneath the layers of the false ego. This recognition brings Chidananda, or eternal bliss. It is the natural result of dropping the heavy weights of self-will and finally coming home to a state of pure, unforced divine love. This state of being isn't something we can buy with good deeds or capture through force. In our chaotic world, awakening doesn't require us to punish ourselves in isolation. It asks us to stop fighting, look for the divine in the people around us, and gently yield to a love that is already there.